We still waiting, right?
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys
Did you
and
see that, though?
girls. Thank you for tuning in to
Watch
ASAP
that,
in the
man. Take care.
morning, where I am with my boy who's at work right now currently, if you can hear in the background. My boy Pride. What's going on, Pride?
What's up? I thought I had myself muted. I'm a clown. I don't know technology. What up, Frankie? How you living, my boy?
Tired of shit just like you.
So tired. Yeah, I somehow find a way to get on. Great, though. Besides our
Just for
lives, I'm petty.
just for those of you who are watching, you do got the duo, the undisputed tag
Oh,
team shit talking champions on here.
oh my
So
lord.
if we come at you and we violate, and it's nothing personal. It's
Nah.
just what we do. Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's all personal, straight
No.
personal.
It's not that personal. Feel me? I don't know which one you are. I don't know if you're Jimmy or Jay. I don't care which one you are. I'm the other. As long as we be in the Usos, bro, I'm chilling. We the Usos with receding
Facts,
hairlines. That's us. We the
facts,
Usos with receding hairlines. That's it, bro. Let's get it.
facts. Come to our penitentiary.
On God, bro.
Let's start it off though, Pride. We're gonna start off with I wanna catch up with what you got. I watched the show last night, with you,
Mm,
Freddie, and
that
everybody
spontaneous show.
else.
Yep.
Yeah, the spontaneous show, which by the way we will be having again tonight. Um, and I can't wait because this time I'm gonna be around and probably got his backup, so it's gonna be even more crazy. But
Oh.
I want to get onto the topic with Draymond Green. He's supposedly going out saying that he deserves a max contract with the Golden State Warriors. Um, I don't think that should be what the Golden State Warriors should be focusing on. I don't think Draymond
Mhm.
Green deserves a supermax contract. I mean, he is a talented player, but Draymond Green isn't the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors is more Steph Curry, Klay Thompson.
Mhm.
And all Draymond is like the third wheel who just gets them their rebounds. He has his shots here and there, but I don't think he gets his max deal. What do you have to say on, or what are your thoughts on Draymond Green potentially trying to get a supermax contract from the Golden State Warriors?
I would be nice, Frankie. I want you to go first. I want you to go first, Frankie. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be realistic with you, and I'm not even gonna be polite about it. But Draymond Green is smoking herbs. I think he's insane. I don't think he deserves this supermax contract. Like I said, he's a good, talented player, but he's not a LeBron James. He's not a Giannis Antetokounmpo, or however you say his name. He's not a Steph Curry and stuff like that. He's a big man, and I think he deserves some type of money, but not a supermax contract like the Rudy Gobert. That's a supermax contract or a max contract where everybody thought that's insane that he shouldn't be getting that because really Rudy hasn't been looking like Rudy in the day, but realistically, Draymond is more, of Draymond. I don't think, I don't want to put nothing bad on Draymond. The man, he's doing his thing. He's got his podcast. He's a four-time champion, but he's a shit talking champion. He hypes his team up to another level where, everybody thinks that the Golden State Warriors are supposed to win every year because of Draymond, Clay, and Steph. And I don't think that's true. Anyone and realistically anyone in the NBA can beat those three. They just can't because these three has been on the team for so long. They have that chemistry, they have that focus, they have that urgency to get a championship and to win it. Compared to any other team who has the urgency and everything like that, but they just don't have the connection in a team mode. The Celtics had that connection. No lie, the Celtics had that connection. We've seen it this previous season in the playoffs and in the regular season. Because be realistic, the Celtics were terrible in the first half of the season. When All Star came, they were phenomenal. They were beasting in the East. Then they come and they go to the playoffs and they face Golden State in the finals. It's just It was just too much for Boston because Golden State has too much talent, and that's not just because of Draymond. I don't think Draymond deserves that max contract. Like I said, Draymond deserves some type of contract, but definitely not a max contract.
And I agree with you. He does deserve a contract, just not a max. Here's the problem where people are making this mistake, right? We've seen when Clay has to play by himself, he can get buckets, right? He can still make an impact, right? He can either offensively and defensively make his impact. Steph, yeah, he's not a defender, but offensively, when he's by himself, he's still doing Steph thing. Without them, Draymond does not look good at all. Let's just be honest. Whenever we're ready for that conversation, we can have it. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look worthy of this max that he's desperately trying to push. The problem with it is there's times he's been injured and other players replace his role and they look better than him. I'm gonna say
Right.
that one more time. DeMarcus Cousins, when he was in Golden State, couldn't jump over a credit card, and my guy was basically doing Draymond Green things. What people don't understand is like, because people want to go, oh yeah, Draymond, Draymond does it. What Draymond does, he holds the ball at the top of the key, let Steph and Clay run around like crazy, going through their endless picks, and as soon as they finish with the picks, he just passes to them when they're wide open at the top. Like, let's just be honest. Like, and I'm not even trying to be rude or like that, but like, he doesn't do anything spectacular worth a mid. Combine that with his age, combine that with him now constantly getting injured. Like, nah, bro, you're not getting like you're not getting no max contract. You don't even deserve to even ask for one. Let's just get that out the way, you know. And that lets you know because Golden State said we'll do everything in our power to keep it together, but they went out on record and said, look, bro, we're not giving you a max. Like if a max contract is something that you kind of demand and something that you want, you're gonna have to go elsewhere because we're not giving you that max. And honestly, why should they? Where they are right now, if we're gonna be honest, they don't need Draymond. If anything, Draymond needs them more. Like, think about it. Like, and I said this yesterday, and I meant it. I literally meant it. Draymond Green accidentally stumbled into a dynasty. He didn't start it. He didn't initiate it. He didn't do anything. The only thing he did, he just accidentally stumbled into it. And I will say that to my dying days. There's
Yeah.
nothing that Draymond does that's like I don't understand. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, he's such a great defender. No, he just fouls people. He just like all he does is grit through and just he tries to foul them. That's it. So I don't get this notion about defender because every time he tries to defend people, all I know is they put buckets on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then people are like, oh yeah, he could orchestrate the offense. But it's like, no, he can't. Like, if orchestrating the offense is me staying at the top of the key and letting the other two guys who score run around through endless picks and then I pass it when they're open, is that really me initiating an offense? Is that
No,
really
that's
me
just you.
initiating an offense?
No, that's just you setting up a pick and throwing the ball to the man that's wide
And just
open in the hole.
like literally just waiting, just waiting. That's it. So I never understood this whole like now granted does he fit in Golden State? Yes, he does because he understands his role, right? Or at least at the time, but a few years back he understood it. Now him coming out asking for a max, bro, you're not worthy of a max. You're not at all. I think the problem with Draymond is he saw Jalen Brunson get a max or get that $110 million deal from New York, and he's like, oh yeah, well look how many rings I got. And it's like, nah, Draymond, you you're not good. We've seen you when you had to be the only player, and you were looking worse than Lonzo back when he was with the Lakers, bro. See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I forgot what series it was where he was like terrible the first like 2 to 3 games.
Well, I know it was at least the Celtics.
It's got to be the Celtics. Yeah. What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? How's everybody doing this morning?
Chilling, bro. We chilling. But nah, bro. Like, I don't think at all he's worth a max. I'm not, and let's say he wants to test the market. I don't see any team giving him a max. I don't see a single team giving him a max contract.
Yeah.
If y'all see any team that would probably take a chance on him, let me know. Let me know, and we could talk about it. But I don't see a single team giving him a max. I don't see it. I don't believe it. I think Draymond actually believes it. It's either that or he's playing a chess move. It's either that or he's playing a chess move so that way he could put Golden State in a situation where they won't pay him and he can go play with LeBron. Because I promise you, that's probably what he's gonna end up trying to do. When Golden State says no, we don't want you, that's what he's gonna try to do.
We consider Draymond though as to be part of the Dub legacy. I mean, Clay and Steph really kind of brought him in, and they really kind of made Draymond. I don't think Draymond goes anywhere else. I think Draymond goes to Sacramento, Orlando, whatever, and he just fades to the 4 wins.
I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not even gonna do that. If you put him on the middle of the, I'm gonna put it to you this way: put him on Portland. Put him on Portland and watch how quick he'll get exposed. Put him on situations like Portland.
You put him on either team. I think 8, 6, and 5 is not a max deal. I mean, that's barely anything.
And on top of that, an older guy, and people go, "Oh yeah, well, the stuff he does, it doesn't show up on the box score." Bro, again, the stuff he does, if you really watch the game, it's really not all that special. The only reason why it's special, why people think it's special, is just because they're winning. And they're not winning because of Draymond. Draymond's just there. You see what I'm saying?
If you think about it, Draymond was actually hurting them a lot, to be honest with you.
Damian says Knicks would be stupid to give Draymond that contract. He'll probably Portland too. Like, I don't know, this guy. This guy makes no sense. I mean, for one, it's not the Knicks that's giving or that's talking to Draymond about this contract. It's the Golden State Warriors because that's the team he's in. And he'll probably Portland too. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means like he'll probably like go to Portland, but if he does, that's just stupid on Draymond's part. Just because Portland looks like they're gonna soon to be on a rebuild mode, already moving on from Rudy Gobert, and rumors are that Donovan Mitchell will be on the way to New York apparently soon. So we'll find out on more news on that. Jay, give me
Frankie, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, another thought I was having, and Frankie, let's say Golden State said, okay, Draymond, we'll give you the max, whatever. How are they going to have? That's really going to screw their future building, because if you give those 3 players those types of contracts, Lakers not going to go that far with the luxury tax. So now you're taking away from potential money when Wiseman comes up if he pans out. But then you got Poole, and then that's your future. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces that you're not going to be able to keep your future together just for a freaking Draymond. I think you give him that max contract, you really are stifling the future of that franchise. Okay, that's all I want to say.
No, that's perfect what you said, because honestly, I agree. I mean, Draymond really shouldn't. Yes, I'll heat it up for you in a second. All right, I'll heat it up for you in a second. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for interrupting me. Can you please go? Thank you. Sorry, guys, as I was really interrupted by my daughter. But like I said, I mean, I don't think Draymond should get that contract. It's just ridiculous. And like Jay said, like if you give him a super max contract or any type of max contract, you're ruining the future of your young franchise, and Poole and Wiseman and stuff like that. I mean, how many years does Steph Curry has? I said literally at the end of this season after they won, I said Steph Curry has a maximum maybe 5 to 6 years left in this league. Yeah. Possibly.
At the high level he's putting out at.
Yeah. And then you got Klay Thompson. Who knows if Klay Thompson is going to stick with the Golden State Warriors. I mean, it would be smart for them to stay with Klay Thompson, but we've seen many times, people like Klay Thompson who ends up getting injured and being hurt. They end up being on the trade block. Like, people start to look at it like, will he stay on Golden State? Will Golden State mindset say we should keep him, or should we move on for him for future reasons? I mean, the guy did have 2 years back-to-back injuries. I mean, yeah, he did come back last year looking okay. I'm not going to say he looked great like our boy Mike Hughes and stuff would say, but he came back looking okay. And then once the playoff came, I turned it around and I said, Klay Thompson looked like the Russell Westbrook in the NBA playoffs, which he really did. No, nobody over here. I don't want to hear no shenanigans that he didn't,
No, you're
because
right.
this man,
No, you're right.
he
You're right.
he
I'm
looked
not
like
going
Russell
front. You're right.
Westbrook.
You're right.
So
And my
like,
thing is, the only reason I'm gonna give Clay the benefit of the doubt, it looked like he was never really healthy this year.
That's what I'm thinking.
So
I
I'm
gotta
gonna
give it
give.
a
So
second year.
listen,
The first
he
year
played.
back, it's just reacclimating.
It's not gonna change the fact that he played horrible. But before I start going saying that they need to get rid of Clay, I'm gonna let him get a full off season to relax, wind down his body, get back in shape, and all that stuff. And then we'll be able to see whether or not Clay really can bounce back from that injury, or if the Clay we saw last year is the Clay that we're gonna see forever. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
but that doesn't
exactly.
change the fact that
Well,
he
they say
played.
a
He
lot
played
of
like
people have those
boo boo.
types of injuries, ACL,
He
Achilles.
played. He played horrible in the playoffs, and I'm not even going to try to like brush out on the rug. He played horrible, but I'm not giving up on him yet.
And that's the thing, man. When you come off Achilles and the ACL back to backs, I mean, it takes a little while for that body to still get fully 100. So you can't. The first year, okay, that's your acclimation year. You got to come back, get game time conditioning, go up against people. But the second year, now you've had a little bit of game time conditioning. Now you need to, start really working on. He's not so much rehabbing in the offseason as he would be, just getting himself back a little bit more physically or mentally, even maybe. So. Yeah, you got to give him that second year. I mean, you got to be fair. Clay is still Clay, man. I mean, you can't just take it off 1 year coming off those types of injuries.
all right, cool. So we'll give him 1 year, one full year, which will be this upcoming season.
To be fair, I think you do.
And if he looks like the playoff Clay that we've seen, maybe it's time for Golden State to potentially look into the future and say, maybe we need to move on from Clay. He doesn't look like the Clay, from the Splash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can get something,
Right.
You could definitely get maybe 2 first-round draft picks, if not maybe one and 2 second-rounders.
Nah. If Clay continues his play, I think Golden State would be better off just cutting him.
How many years does he have left on his contract?
I think 2 more. Someone fact check me. I think he's got
Right,
2 more left.
Let me check.
Klay
That's a good
Thompson's
question.
32 years old, and he's got about 2 years remaining. I think you give him 1 more that puts him at 33 with 1 year remaining. So yeah, I think you give him that 1 year, and if he's not back to where Clay was Clay, then I think you're traded for picks and just see what you can get. Somebody's out there is going to take a ride on Clay. You're not going to get probably the max, but you should be able to get some picks out of it or another decent player. One of the two, really.
Sorry, I lost you there. I was cutting in and out.
No, I was just saying, I think you gave, like I was telling him, I think you give him Clay, he's 32 years old, he's got 2 years remaining, so you keep him 1 year, see if he comes back and can be the vintage Clay, and if he doesn't, then, then I think you look to trade him for either picks or another player or whatever. I think someone's going to take a ride on Clay.
I'm not trading him for a player. If I'm going to trade him, I'm doing picks, but
yeah, I agree.
In all honesty, like, because of everything Clay did for them, I would cut him and let him go out and be able to pick his own team, kind of as like a thank you, because Clay was very important to them. He was extremely important to them, so I would cut him as just like a thank you type of situation where it's like you know what I mean, like we're not gonna do you dirty and send you to Orlando or Sacramento just so they can get tickets. Like, nah, like we gonna cut you, right? We gonna part ways amicably. Go find another team, a team that you feel comfortable with, a team that you want to be on, instead of, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to say, that's what I would do. Like Draymond, I don't care what you say. Send Draymond to Serbia. I don't care. Send him to Serbia. I don't care.
So
send him to China. I don't care.
So
Clay, you got to treat him a little bit better.
Klay Thompson signed a 5-year contract worth $189 million, and he becomes a free agent in 2024. It says UFA. I think that's unrestricted free, or it'll say RFA. So he'll be a free agent in 2024. It says UFA next to 2024 when he becomes a free agent.
That's unrestricted, so he could do whatever he wants.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll be free in 2 years.
Yeah,
so I mean,
see what he does, and then either you're going to extend him or you're just going to let him walk.
It would be possible, like I said, like he has 2 years left. it would be possible that Golden State looks at it this year, and if he doesn't look good, like Price said, either they're gonna cut him, or they're just gonna trade him. But if they're gonna cut him, I'm pretty sure that money is fully guaranteed, so they're gonna have to pay him either way.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, if I was Golden State, I would look for a trade if he doesn't look good. If he still looks like the Splash Brother that we know, might as well just keep him until 2024 and let him become a free agent.
Yeah. I think with Clay, time's going to tell. It's going to tell that. I think that, like I said, that second year, man, it's going to be important to them and him.
Jay, take over for a second. My kids are crying. Next topic, Jay, is Russell Westbrook. Probably knows about.
Oh yeah. So
Go
this
ahead,
is
Prime.
basically this has been a very heated topic everywhere, right? There are some people who genuinely believe that after this year, nobody will touch Russell Westbrook and he's gonna find himself out of the league. Now, I believe that's a possibility, but the reason why I think it's a possibility, I think what's going to end up happening after this year, I think teams will reach out to Russ, but I think they're going to reach out and say, look, bro, you got to do a prove it deal. Like, we're going to give you a
Yeah.
1 year veteran minimum type of thing. And I think Russ is going to look at that. And in my opinion, I don't think he's taking no minimum. I don't think he's taking a
Yeah.
1 year prove it deal.
I'm
And I
totally
think
with you.
so.
Russ's ego won't let that happen.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I think that is a possibility, but only because teams are going to be like, come on, Russ, we're going to give you a prove it deal so that way we can give you something, a little longer, like a 3 year deal or whatever, But I don't, in my opinion, man, I don't know if Russ's ego would take that. Like, I don't think how he'll take that. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying. I think with Russell Westbrook, if he's taking care of his money and he's not cap strapped for money, he's not hurting for money, then I see Russell Westbrook not wanting to take, like you said, that minimum, and I see him ride it out until he thinks a team will give it to him, which that day will never come. Now, if he is cap strapped for money or is hurting for money, then I see him trying to work something else. He knows he needs money, but I don't think that's Russell Westbrook's case. So I think, like you said, I think his ego is going to be like, oh, hell no. I know I'm worth more than that. And I think he has a number that he's willing to, a bottom line number that he's willing to take. And if the team doesn't offer that bottom line number, then I don't think he comes back. And I don't think anybody is going to go out there on a limb. I mean, look, Russell Westbrook's reputation has taken quite a big of a hit. And I don't know, man. I mean, what team's out there really going to? And he's low. I mean, who's going to take that risk on him?
And again, that's why I think it's a possibility, because after everything, you know what I mean, like this season and how it's been handled by, obviously I'm not gonna sit here and say that the Lakers handled it perfectly, but Russ also had his moments, you know what I mean? Like, they told him come off the bench and he didn't want to, right? You know who else was offered to come off the bench and refused? Melo. And it took him not being able to play for him to realize, man, I might have to consider it. And then after he came to that realization and that fact that sure, I'll come off the bench, he had to get lucky with Portland getting injury upon injury upon injury upon injury for them to finally open up a spot for them to sign him. So it's like, but the thing is like, does Russ really care to do that? Like,
his ego is much larger than Carmelo Anthony's was.
And not only that, because you hear him like he's talking about how much he loves his family and how, you know what I mean, like he'll quit basketball for his family any day of the week. I don't know about y'all, but like when I broke my back, right after I started healing, I became a stay-at-home dad for a while. Like, being a stay-at-home dad, dude, I didn't want to go back to work, because being able to spend all my time with my kids and to play with them and all that stuff, it was fun.
Yeah.
You like, with how, and I don't think Russ is faking it on that whole family thing. I think he really does care and love his children. A year being home while you're having money, he still has endorsements and sponsorships, all that stuff, man. In my opinion, bro, I think 1 year out, he just won't care anymore.
And that could be, I mean, we saw it with Tom Brady. Retirement? Oh, hell no. Giselle, I'm sorry. I can't do this shit. I got to go back. I think it just killed Tom when he retired. I think he just got so bored at home that he just had to come back. And I think with Russell, it could be the same thing. But again, when Russell decides to do that, he's going to have to look himself in the mirror and say, okay, I'm not going to get the money that I want. So am I really, that bored or that what disgruntled at home that I'm willing to compromise my ego and take the lesser money? I don't know.
And that's the thing, because if he takes a year off, how likely is it he's going to take a year off and go to a place and they're going to give him the deal he wants? How likely is it for you to get paid after taking a year off of basketball? Like, he, in my opinion, bro, he's not going to get paid what he wants. He's not. Like, whatever contract he has in his head, any long-term deal, more specifically, he's not going to get it, unfortunately, right? The only people who think that he deserves it are casuals who are looking at Russell Westbrook, the name, and not the player, right? Like, you're just looking at the name and you're like, oh man, 11 years ago he got MVP. Like, you see what I'm saying?
But then, okay, so by that token, if it's a prove-it deal, what does that prove-it deal look like? Does that prove-it deal mean that, okay, Russ, we're going to give you a prove-it deal. We're going to prove that you can limit turnovers. We're going to prove that, you can have better shot selection and not try to take the three all the time. Are you going to prove that you can pass the ball and not be stingy with it? I mean, what would that prove-it deal look like?
You want to know what I honestly think the prove-it deal would look like? I think the prove-it deal wouldn't even be more along the lines of playing. I think it would be more along the lines of chemistry and maybe even like leadership and camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it'll be a play thing. It'll be like listen. Ever since he left OKC, right, the organization that basically gave him everything, right, went to Houston after a year, threw a temper tantrum, right? Like, think about it. We're knocking Kevin Durant when Russ has been doing basically the same thing. 1 year in Houston, he threw a temper tantrum because he couldn't get his triple double. Got mad, left, right? When he went over to Washington, he got mad because he wanted to be the focal point 24/7. And they were like, nah, bro, we got someone in Bradley Beal. He got butthurt about that. Threw a temper tantrum and wanted out. Now he's in the Lakers. He's playing horribly. Instead of admitting it, what he's doing? He's throwing a temper tantrum. Right. So that's 3 destinations that he's throwing a temper tantrum at, all back to back to back to back. Right? Yeah. So, like, teams are looking at Russ like, look, if we're gonna knock KD, we gotta have the same exact thing for Russ, because that's 3 teams in a row he's throwing a temper tantrum in. 3 teams on his court.
The thing about Russ too, which always gets my goat, man. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are on this ride, but the whole thing with the triple doubles and stuff, it is an impressive thing to say you got these many triple doubles, but they don't look at the triple-double, or they don't look at Russell Westbrook's triple-double for what it really is. It's great that he can get all those rebounds. It's great that he gets all those assists. That's the plus side of the triple-double for him. The negative side of the triple-double for him, which is a detriment to the team, which goes back to shot selection or quality shot selections, is for him to get those points that he's scoring. How you can see his field goal percentage wasn't always that great. So it was almost kind of like he was giving the team or giving possessions away to the team for every shot that he took that wasn't a good shot.
But you're not allowed to say that, though. You're not allowed to say that because it's Russell Westbrook.
Oh, I get that.
And that is why this is why I personally don't really talk to Russell Westbrook fans like that. That's why, in my opinion, Russell Westbrook fans are some of, if not the hardest fans to talk to. Because the only thing they really do, they go triple-double, triple-double, triple-double. And I'm like, look, it's okay for you to appreciate the triple-double while also admitting a lot of those assists came at very poor opportune time. There have been multiple times that he could have went up and gotten a layup, and what did he do? He stopped and threw the ball behind him and turned the ball over.
Right.
But they don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? Because it's not fair. You know what I mean? Like, listen, the triple-double stuff that he did, don't get it twisted. I respect the triple-doubles, but just because I respect the triple-doubles doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about the glaring inefficiency problem he's having.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
again, like, You see what I'm saying? Like, again, I respect the triple doubles. Yeah, cool. He's averaging 20 points per game. It's taking him 25 shots to get it. If it's any other player in the league, we're killing him for it. But because it's Russ, we got to be nice. No.
Well, you have to be super nice because it's Russell Westbrook.
Exactly. And it's like you can appreciate him. You can appreciate the triple doubles when also critiquing him when necessary. You see what I'm saying? That like I said, people kill LeBron because he's a poor free throw shooter. What about Russell Westbrook, who's worse?
Yeah,
Nobody
that's
wants
true.
to talk about that. Why? Because it's Russell Westbrook. We got to protect. No, y'all don't. And this is the inconsistency that bothers me. The same people who defend Russell Westbrook are the same people who love to jump on James Harden and say he's washed. And my thing is, bro, they're both going down the tubes. So if you can say one is washed and too scared to say it about the other, that just shows that either you're too biased or you're too dumb. You can pick a lane. You know? The unfortunate, you know?
I mean, maybe I do give him incentives. Maybe I give him a low ball deal, but I say, hey, if you hit these benchmarks or if you do these things, then this maybe your contract could look more like this. I still don't know if Russell goes for that because again, I think it goes back to an ego thing, and I don't know if his ego is really want to take on an incentive-laden deal.
And again, that's the problem because like another player would probably take that, right? Like, I think James Harden is more likely to take a deal like that.
I think so,
right?
Because James just took a pay cut to help out
Right.
the Sixers.
Exactly. So and it's not even the pay cut terms of it or whatever. I just think that James Harden understands that like where I'm at right now, I'm not the same. I think he's starting to understand that Russ isn't.
Right.
And that's really a dangerous problem. What Diablo, yo, you good?
Yeah, hi.
Damn, I got coughed up a frog. That's rough. But
Listen, man, that's
but
what
Frankie-
happens when you smoke them blunts, man. Come
yeah,
on.
Frankie, let me explain to you why. Because I think there's a chance that this is the last year we see Russell Westbrook. I think it's a legitimate possibility. I think it's a possibility in terms of when he leaves, right? Because he's probably gonna end up leaving the Lakers, and he's probably gonna end up trying to explore his options. I don't think anyone's gonna give him the contract he wants. So when he
definitely
doesn't
not.
get the contract he wants, he's gonna be like, nah, bro, if y'all don't give me what I want, I'm out.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
and that's why Russell Westbrook opted into this $47 million deal with the Lakers because he knows he's not going to see money like that in any other
Ever
on
again.
any other team.
Right.
So that's the
Let's
only
say this,
reason
too.
he's.
Hey, look, Russell's 34. He's 30. He's not getting younger. He's 34. Now,
And with all the injuries, remember, but like this guy missed I think it was like a season and a half with a torn meniscus when he was in OKC and Patrick Beverly dove at his knees.
yeah,
Like that took a lot out of him. He's 35, but his body is closer to LeBron's age because of all the injuries and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, people
Yeah.
go, oh, like, oh, excuse me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, sure, he doesn't get, but every single time he goes up, it's kind of like you get nervous because it's like, ah, damn, he gonna get hurt again. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, when Russ gets hurt, it's not those injuries that he's a different type of injury prone, or I don't want to say injury prone, but he's a different type of injury concern. There's two different types of injury concerns. A guy who goes out there and misses weeks here and there because of like injuries that happen, or the guy who, when he gets hurt, is out for a long time. And Russ falls into that second category. Sure, he doesn't get injured as often, but the reason why you gotta say it's a concern because when he gets hurt, he's out for an extended period of time. And that, you know what I mean? For me personally, that's where I would honestly do like 100% concerned. I'd be very worried. I'm not even gonna lie. I would be, but like I said, I think it's a legitimate possibility because, think about it.
And Damian
What's his
says,
ego? He's not taking it.
and Damian says Harden's too old to prove he can win a championship. He should have cared about it when he was in his prime. And to be honest, Damian, there's nothing wrong with James Harden. It only is when the playoff comes around. So if you really watch basketball, you will see that James Harden in the regular season is still the James Harden we know of from his prime time. It's the playoffs that worries us that we need to see James Harden turn around. And he can do it with the 76ers if Joel Embiid is 100% healthy. Joel Embiid wasn't healthy in last year's playoff. So you got Joel Embiid healthy, and then you have I'm not a 76ers fan, but I keep forgetting who's on that team. You got
We got
what the hell?
Thybulle,
Maxi. You got
Tybull,
Maxi, yeah.
Maxey.
Miles Harris on
I mean,
there.
you even though like not people want to say it, I mean, you could still count on Tobias Harris to give you 15. Granted, you would
Oh,
want
yeah.
more, but at least you get 15 from him.
There's nothing wrong with this Sixers team. The problem with them is that Embiid was hurt, going into that Miami series. He wasn't the Embiid. I think that they can still make that team work, and especially as James Harden is willing to that pick. The biggest thing for the Sixers was bringing in PJ Tucker. And like I said, every team needs that junkyard dog type mentality, and PJ Tucker gives them that. He gives them defense. He gives them that that junkyard type mentality. That was a really good pickup by the Sixers, and that doesn't happen unless Harden takes that pay cut. So I do expect to see some good things come out of the Sixers.
You know where he wasn't a junkyard dog? You know where he wasn't? In Miami against the Celtics. He wasn't a junkyard dog. Boom.
Who?
Next.
Who wasn't a junkyard dog?
PJ Tucker.
I mean,
Listen, look, Miami had other problems than just look. PJ Tucker did what he could, man. The fact that
No, he
Bam
didn't.
Adebayo, they don't have a true big man. I'm sorry, the Heat don't have a true big man. Bam, they don't have a big man. That still, in my opinion, is what separates them from getting over the hump.
in my opinion, I don't
You
think
know-
they'll ever get over the hump. I don't think so.
You know who else don't got a big man? My Lakers. Boom. Roasted. Next.
Your Lakers don't have a.
Hey, so I see a lot of AD stuff out there. He's out there in Hawaii running heels and running in sand and doing all this training. What do we expect out of him with LA coming up this next year? Is he going to be able to stay healthy with all this whatever, or is he just? I mean, what do we expect from AD?
I'll be honest, bro. He better stay healthy. He better.
Listen,
Go ahead.
I hope he stays healthy. I want him to stay healthy because realistically in 2020 when he stood healthy, he looked real good in 2020. And people keep slandering the Lakers because it was the bubble and stuff. And bubble or not, he was looking good playing basketball on the court, no matter
Can
where
I
or
say
what.
something about that real quick?
Go ahead, bro.
If LeBron James wasn't on that Lakers team, everybody would respect that ring.
I know. Thank you. That is
That's the
true.
sad part about it. And it's coming
That
from a
is
Celtics
true.
fan. I'm a Celtics fan.
And that is true.
And it's sad. It really is.
Everybody's forgetting Rajon Rondo, bro. His defense that year was insane. Insane. Same thing with Alex Caruso. Like that team defensively was incredible. I don't care bubble or no bubble. It's your basketball playing skills. It's not where you're at or the condition you're in the NBA. It's how you play for the game. But if AD could stay healthy, I think he'll look good. But then Jay, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. The same thing I told Mike yesterday. Mike posted something about Michael Thomas being at work and practice facilities with the Saints and stuff like that. And you know what? I'm not trolling Michael Thomas. I like Michael Thomas. He's a great NFL player. But then again, you're doing this stuff without defense holding you. I want to see how you look with defense on you. If you can look like that with defenses on you, then we can have a conversation. I mean, you got AD making perfect 3-point shots with no defense on him. But if he makes a 3-point shot with a defense on him, then maybe we can say something different because realistically, let's say he has defense on him and he comes down from that shot and his ankle ends up twisted because he lands on the opponent's foot. Boom, right there, broken ankles. AD's done, injured already, right? Same thing with Michael Thomas. If he has a cornerback on him, D'ing him, and then Michael Thomas makes that wrong slant for the slot, he makes that wrong turn. What happens?
I mean, I'll be honest. That's unfair for you to say. Because if that's the route you're going, you can then be like for any player. Oh, you take that wrong.
Yeah,
take that wrong.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that for any player, anyone.
But that's not fair to say because they're in the off season. So you're not gonna really see him. That's one. And two, Michael Thomas is a great route runner. He ran a clean route without his ankle disintegrating. Now, I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but boy, it's a step in the right direction when there was question that this man would be able to walk properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, Pride. I'm not, and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to slander them or nothing like that. I'm not trying to put nothing back. I just want to see what they look like when when there's defense on them. You feel me?
Bro,
Because
you had
like,
people crying when you said that, bro.
yo, right, they were.
Crying. You had
So we know
people
that. Hey, we know
crying.
that Lakers have lost Monk. I think they brought in some other additions. What, obviously they're gonna still make a decision on this whole Westbrook thing. But what do we expect out of the Lakers this year coming up? Is it gonna be another
Nothing.
rerun of last year, or are we expecting more? Or
I think
Nah,
at
don't
best,
say no. Don't say nothing, Pride, because you're gonna have LeBron James fully healthy with a full offseason rest, and AD with
right,
a
but
healthy
I
offseason rest.
understand that. I understand that, but even when there were spurts with both AD and LeBron healthy, they still had to deal with Russ.
That is true. That's the
So-
one. That's the one situation that bothers me.
Which is why I think it's going to be more of the same. I think, like I said, if y'all make the playoffs as a first round, I get bounced in the first round, probably in 5. You know what I mean? It's not going to be good at all. And the unfortunate part of the situation is, and another reason why I think so is because now AD is going to be looking. They're going to be looking at AD differently now. And what I mean by that is, with all the injuries he's been kind of doing, like he's been going through lately, this year, if he doesn't play a minimum of 65 games, the Lakers will trade Anthony Davis.
so right now, the current depth chart of the Lakers is Westbrook at the point, Bradley at the shooting guard, Horton Tucker small forward, James at the power forward, and Anthony Davis at the center. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, to me,
Jay, that could change up because
No,
let's
I
be
know.
real.
I'm saying that's where it currently is. I'm saying that's where it currently is right now. So I mean, yeah, can they make some other things? Yeah, they're gonna have to obviously get rid of Westbrook to bring in other people, but I don't know, man. We'll see. Right now, I'm not impressed too much with that lineup. I still think Gold State runs the roost. I think Phoenix is going to be in there and on the West Coast side of things. Lakers, we'll see. I still think it comes down if they have to keep Westbrook, if they can't get rid of him, then it's going to be can Russell Westbrook develop that chemistry with the team like Pride was talking about, and can he have better shot selections? Can he fit in with his it's going to take a lot. I think it's going to take a lot.
I've been holding this in too much. The Warriors are not going to do nothing because Steph Curry's going to forget his favorite socks at home. Boom, roasted. Next, the Suns aren't going to do nothing. The Suns are not going to do nothing because they're gonna remember Luka Doncic and what the Dallas Mavericks did to them. Boom, roasted.
And again, too, with that starting lineup, the way it's currently constructed now, again, to your credit, Frankie, they could change it up, and there could be some other pieces come in. But just the way it currently is constructed, if Davis or Bron goes down at any point with injuries, and that is the knock on Bron and AD is that and so much for Bron because Bron's older. It just happens. You can't play him, I don't think, as much, even with all the supplements and as well as he takes care of his body, he still is older. So I don't think you can play him or continue to play him that many minutes and expect him to give you a full season healthy. Same thing with AD. AD come off these injuries. He's injury prone. So they're going to have to, I hate to say lower load management, but they're going to have to watch these guys to make sure they can keep them healthy the whole season. And I don't think they have anybody else on that team that can carry them. So from my opinion, I think maybe they get into the play-in, but the way it's currently constructed, I just have a lot of doubts as to how far they can go.
Bro, I don't even have doubts in all honesty. I just got certainties that this Lakers team isn't going to do anything. It's gonna be a scary movie 2.0, and I'm just gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be vibing because honestly, I don't even care about Russ anymore. I'm more interested on the entire Anthony Davis situation. Like, is he gonna be available?
Anthony Davis in a basketball hospice.
I'm really interested. Like, what's gonna happen with Anthony Davis? Is he's gonna be one of these guys that have all the talent in the world, but because of his injuries, he's gonna have to be a role player? Is he gonna be like a DeMarcus Cousins, where remember Prime Boogie in Sacramento, he was a problem.
Bro,
DeMarcus Cousins was a problem in Sacramento. The injuries hit him, and especially after he got traded to the Pelicans, And he has not been that same Boogie Cousins since, right? He's been
Oh, he
solid in
has.
spurts, but he has not been that same dude. Is Anthony Davis going to go down that route? Is he going to go down the Vince Carter route, right? Where everyone, everything was built around him. Because honestly, I think he's looking more like him. That's how he's looking like, right? He ends up going to a situation, right? He gets drafted to a team, and the team tries to build everything around him, right? Ends up having some situations where the offense gets a shake up, injuries, ends up at demanding for a trade, right? The team in both cases doubled down, said we are not going to trade Anthony, we're not going to trade X player. And what did they do? The Raptors traded Vince Carter over to the New Jersey Nets at the time, and the Pelicans traded AD to the Lakers, where they had their most success. They both went to a team where they had their most success, but because of their injuries, they started going downhill, and then they end up going from team to 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 team. Is Anthony Davis going to be this generation's Dwight Howard? But I think a lot of those
Yeah.
questions you start to get a better picture this year, because I think it depends on what happens, what's going to end up happening. Like if he can stay healthy, I think they'll rock with him. But that's all on AD. And the sad part about it, to be 100% honest, even though it's injuries, I feel bad because a lot of the injuries he goes through isn't really his fault. It's situations where he's playing basketball, he just happens to land on someone's leg, and then his ankle kind of goes pop, pop.
Yeah.
That's where I feel bad. So it's not like he's doing dumb stuff. He's just he's just unlucky. You know, I feel bad for him,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's how it goes.
Definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with Pride on that. I mean, oh, did we lose Frankie? I think we lost Frankie. There he is. Frankie, where'd you go, Frankie?
My bad. My phone is like messing up right now.
Oh, good.
It's okay. Just like the Yankees. No big deal.
Mm. Matter of fact, I'll be right back.
Oh, Jay, you don't want to start no slander with my Yankees.
Hey,
You don't want to do
calm
it.
down. I'm just messing with you. Although I will say this, not that we're switching gears, I guess, from basketball to baseball, but let's just kind of talk about it for a minute, man.
All right, let's do it.
You guys were hot and rolling. They were talking about the best, record possibly in history. And now it's just kind of, you guys are doing great. I mean, you just brought in Benatelli. I think he's going to be great for your outfield. You are making some good moves. But, man, now the Dodgers got you by the winning percentage that took over the top spot, kind of put you down underneath them. Again, your record's still even, so it's going to be interesting. Man, Frankie, hey, you got the Kansas City Royals tonight. I think, who do I got, man? I got somebody tonight.
You guys got Seattle's, yeah.
Yeah, I got Seattle. Mickey Delaney. You know we own you, man. Look, let go of the A's thing, whatever. We're coming after Seattle, man. But it's interesting, man. We're only 2 games back, man. It's looking pretty good.
We expected something like this because every year, we see stuff like this happening.
Yeah.
Yankees still they still can, Jay, have the one of the best records to finish out the season no matter what. I mean, I don't know what's going on. We started off the season hot, and now it looks like we're cooling down. Injuries are catching up to some of our players. We're looking like the team of last year, but I'm hoping we can get our head out of our asses and get back to playing baseball like we did starting. I'm glad July is ending because this really wasn't a good month of us playing baseball. So hopefully, August will be a little bit better. Going into September, where we'll have Zach Britton coming back in September. Hopefully, we'll have. We did get Ron Marinaccio back. He did pitch the other night. He pitched wonderfully. So I'm glad he's back. So we'll get some players coming back, and it's no rush. As for the Dodgers, I'm not really worried. Like I said to you last night, Jay, I don't really care. I'm glad I had that first lead, that first spot for so long because, it's the momentum that you get to have for so long to be on top of the MLB. And I knew, as time progressed and the Astros were catching them, the Dodgers were catching them, I'm like, and my players started to get hurt. That's where it started to come to me like, okay, take it down a bit, Frankie the Yankee. Take it down because you still got a long time of baseball, and it's true. You got a long time of baseball left, And when you're on top, it happens. Everybody's looking at you and everybody's like, listen, I want to catch up to that person. And now it's not us anymore. It's the Dodgers. And now the Dodgers have everybody on their asses. And, I really, you want to have that first spot for home field advantage, yes. But then again, I don't really want that first spot because when you're in that first place, a lot is expected out of you when you're the first, when you're the best in MLB. A lot is expected out of you. You're expected to be in the World Series. So, like, if we were in first place, Jay, people will look at us and be like, the Yankees are going to go to the World Series. Now it's like, I don't want it. I don't want people to look at us like that. I want people to look at us like, this is going to be good matchups. Like me and you, we're already knowing that it's going to be Yankees Astro ALCS. So, like, you guys got the series lead on us in the regular season, but anything can happen once that ALCS comes out. We can end up winning that series and go on to the World Series. So, like, that's why I don't want to be on top, because if we're on top, everybody will be expecting the Yankees to be like, oh, they can beat this team and beat that team and go into the World Series. No, that's not what baseball is about. Damn it, we just lost right before the All-Star break. We just lost a series to the Cincinnati Reds. Like,
Yeah.
that tells you everything on baseball. We just lost back-to-back games against the Mets. That's my Frankie the Yankee. Those are my stepchildren. All right, the Met fan base are my stepchildren, and they just spanked me 2 games in a row. It was a good game last night, but we messed up with the walk-off, giving it to the Mets. But game 1, man, we got spanked. We couldn't get the ball for some reason. So I don't know. We got swept. We got another game against the Mets coming up in a couple of weeks. I know that for sure, and it's going to be
Now
in
you
Yankee
do.
Stadium.
You got one. It looks like it's August 22nd and 23rd. You'll visit the Mets. Frankie, here's my thing, and it's the same thing with the Astros. Honestly, is why is LA not in Houston's schedule or even you guys' schedule? Like, you guys got Pirates, you got St. Louis. You got Milwaukee. Why don't they give you LA? And why don't they give us LA? Because I want to see us go up against LA before the World Series, or before we get at that level, or you guys go up against LA before you get to that, just so you can kind of see how you stack up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see how you stack up and get that, win or loss. You get that that what do you call it? That film. You get the film where you can study it and see what you did wrong and what you did right. And also you get a feeling of what can be for the future. So, like, if the Astros or the Yankees play up against the Dodgers in the World Series, we're not going to know what it's like to face the Dodgers, so they might have an advantage on us, or we might have an advantage on them. That's what happens, man. And it's really weird that we're not on the schedule with the Dodgers the same as you guys. It's really.
I don't get that. I really don't, especially when you know that our teams are projected to be on the top. So why would you not? As a commissioner, I'm like, we got to put LA against these teams. It just makes sense. Why am I going to put the Pirates in the Yankees? I'd much rather see the damn Dodgers in the Yankees. It just don't make
I would
sense.
like to see that. I would like to see that.
But
I do.
But I'm going to ask you. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, you guys gave up 3 pitching prospects out of your farm for, and I know him. How do you say that? His name, Benintendi?
Andrew Benintendi.
Andrew Benintendi. Come on, bro. Get his name right. He's a New York Yankee now.
Hold on, real quick. Can I say something real fast?
Yeah.
I just think it's very comical how when the Yankees have first place, they're the best team in baseball. They're going to break records. This and the third. And then all of a sudden, they can't handle it anymore because I called it from the beginning. What did I tell ya? They're going to crash and burn soon. I've been screaming that from the beginning. Frankie said I was a hater. I said, watch.
I'm saying that with you, too. I'm saying at some point after
And
the
guess
All-Star
what?
break,
It
it's gonna
happens.
change.
They lose first place, and all of a sudden, first place doesn't mean a thing. It's weird, man. It's weird.
Hold on.
Weird, bro.
Jay, how
Come
long,
on, man?
Jay, how
Come
long?
on, you gotta be real, bro.
Hold up.
You gotta be real,
Hold on.
Frankie. Come on,
I'm
bro.
real. Hold on. I am real because
It matters.
I just said at the beginning of the season I was talking that shit on how hype my team was in the first spot.
Because y'all-
But as we were progressing down by getting our injuries and looking like the Yankees of last year and seeing the Astros and Dodgers catch up, I started to come down a little bit. And Jay's my witness, damn it. I've been saying on shows that I have calmed down with talking about first place because anything can happen. So you watch your mouth there, sir.
You just said that while y'all were losing, bro. You started saying that when y'all was losing.
I didn't.
Bro.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
No,
Yo,
I didn't.
you did not take that stuff serious until y'all lost the series against the Reds. Then all of a sudden, anything can happen. Come on, bro. This is all I'm saying, bro. First place. No, all I'm saying, don't try to act like first place isn't nothing just because the Yankees lost it. Because I'm telling you right now, if the Yankees still have first place, we're the best team in baseball this and that. So I don't want to.
We're still the best team in baseball, damn it. We're still the best in baseball.
Hold on.
We're not in first place because of winning percentage.
Vite. So now you're flip-flopping because you said if you're not in first, then there's no pressure no more. But if you guys are still the best team in baseball, that means there's still pressure to make it.
I didn't say there's no pressure no more. I didn't say there's no pressure no more. I said if we're in first place, everybody's going to look at us as expecting us to be in the World Series. When have you heard me say, the Yankees got so much pressure on them for being in first place? When did I say that? When did I say that?
You just made that argument.
You
just made the argument.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you said whenever
I forgot.
they're expected to make the World Series. You said that. That came out of your mouth.
Yo, I forgot. Enjoy last place. My bad.
That came out of your mouth. That came out of your mouth.
I forgot. You're just
now you're pulling an Evan. As soon as you get caught, you're now trying to change the conversation. That came out of your mouth. That came out of your mouth. You said whenever a team, and Jay, did he not say that? Whenever a team is in first place, the expectation and there's expectation that they need to make the World Series. Did he not say that?
Jay? I just say that.
I mean, and to both you guys credit, you're both right. He came out hot and heavy about it, but then he kind of started to backtrack. But again, we've all been saying that, hey, look, injuries, things like that, it's gonna at some point they're gonna crash and burn after the All-Star break, and they did. Not to the point where they're out of it all the way, because like Frankie said, they're only down by winning percentage. But again, these Dodgers ain't playing around. They're not. Look, the Dodgers they are not playing around. And I got to be honest with you, the Yankees, the Astros, we really got to pick. We got to get momentum back. We got to get health. There's a lot of things we need to do if we're going to give these Dodgers. Who I'm going to tell you right now, the Dodgers are going to be in the damn World Series. I'm forecasting. I'm telling you, the Dodgers are going to be in the World Series, and it's going to be the Yankees and the Astros going up against them. So if I'm the Yankees, I'm the Astros. I'm not worried about if I'm number one. I'm just worried about is my team playing? Are we building momentum? And are we getting our team healthy to face these guys? And again, the trade deadline is a big thing to acquire what you think you need. I'll tell you right now, Astros need a catcher. We need William Dan Contreras.
All I want, and the only thing I'm asking for, is consistency.
Oh no, I get it.
That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. I'm not, you know what I mean?
At the same time, though, Pride, you can understand where some people may have a certain thought process. Because it happens to the best. We all kind of get a little bit ahead of ourselves. And then, reality sets it. It's okay to. And I understand.
No.
If you have legitimate reasons for it, it's okay.
No. Because what you're trying to act like it's two different people. My guy was sucking, fiending, laughing, and said everything was perfect because they were first. They lose first, and all of a sudden, first place doesn't matter. You can't say first place doesn't matter. I'm just saying you can't say first place doesn't matter. No, but I'm just saying you can't say first place doesn't matter when your team just happens to stumble.
I did not say first place. Hold on. No. I'm sick of what Pride is saying. Because now he's trying to now he's trying to get shit out of my mouth. I did not say first place doesn't matter. No, I didn't.
Jay, let me ask you a question, Jay. Remember when the Boston Celtics were like the number one seed for a week? We were the number one seed for a week, right? Imagine if I said, yeah, because listen, when we were the number one seed, I was hot. I was lit. I was like, let's go. Imagine if after that I go, yeah, it doesn't matter who got the number one seed. Number one seed is a joke now. Well, imagine if I said the number one seed was a joke because I lost it.
Number one seed does matter. In the aspect, you have to understand.
I'm just asking for consistency.
I'm just asking for consistency. Because whoever has the best record will have home field advantage in the World Series. So first place does
I'm just saying you can't say first place doesn't matter just because your team fell out of it.
Well, that's true.
Nobody.
That's all I'm saying.
No, and nobody
I just want
said
consistency.
that.
I just want
Nobody said
consistency.
that.
Run back the
Jay,
tape.
can
Run
you
back the
can
tape.
you
Run back the
can you
tape.
run? Yeah, Jay,
That's
please
it. Run back the
remind me.
tape.
Did
We're
I
done. Run
did
back
I
the-
say?
Because you're poo
Did I
pooing.
say?
Bro, you're poo
Pride,
pooing on
shut
first
up.
place because you
Pride.
guys don't have it. That's it. No, because
Nobody
now
talk.
you're gonna try
And
to
that's
lie.
what pride. And that's what pride. And this is what pride problem is when he thinks he's right, he doesn't let somebody talk. And I'm noticing that. Yeah, and I know that too. And this is why I took him off the fucking stream for a minute because he's starting to get me tight. I'm trying to explain myself, and he don't let nobody explain themselves. So he's gonna have to shut up for a minute and sit in the back. So I did not say that I didn't say first place doesn't matter. Of course, first place matters. I said, and I'll say it again, that when you're in first place, a lot is expected out of you to make a World Series, and I didn't want all those eyes on me. Of course, I would love to still be in first place. We could still be in first place by winning percentage if we can get back on track and get our wins back.
I'm gonna read back what I think you're trying to say.
Wow.
This is what I understand from what Frankie's saying.
Now you're backtracking. Do better. Learn to be consistent.
Frankie's saying that Frankie is saying that first place matters, but he likes the fact that if he does come out of first place, not all the eyes are on him or on his team, and allows them to be more relaxed going into the World Series.
Wah. You gonna take me out? You gonna take me out again? Wah. Backtrack.
Oh, Pride, but you gotta let people talk sometimes, Pride. I love you, and you have good, valid points.
And neither do y'all, so I don't care. Neither do y'all, I don't care. Neither do y'all, I don't care.
Pride thinks he hurts people.
Don't get
Look
mad.
at him. Look at him.
Don't get mad.
Nobody's mad. We're mad because you don't let.
No.
Because you don't let people talk. You're not letting me talk.
Consistency. You're not mad, but you're mad.
Explain myself.
You're not mad, but
let
you're
people
mad.
explain themselves.
You're not mad, but you're
When
mad.
somebody's trying
Do
to
better.
explain themselves,
You gotta do better.
you want to talk to them, then you be like, "You're not mad. You're mad. Wah. Cry about it.
Because that's what you're doing. Because you're crying about it.
No,
because that's
I'm
what you're
mad
doing.
because you don't let me explain myself because you want to overtalk me. Just shut your mouth.
No, you're
and let
mad
me talk.
because you got caught. No, you're mad because you know how.
Apparently I'm mad. So let me cry about it for a second.
We gotta
Apparently
get this show back on point, man. I think y'all guys going back and forth. And Pride, I love Pride. Like I said, I love Pride, man. He's my boy, man. But damn, Pride.
Crybaby. Take me out again, crybaby. Wah.
Look at him.
Fuck out of here.
Look at him. You remind me of Sanders. Shut up.
And that's fine. Shut
Up.
I'm chilling.
Enjoy the bottom of the barrel. How's it feel to look up and see Baltimore above you?
That's all I'm asking.
How's it feel to look up and see the Bulls?
I'm just asking for consistency. Don't backpedal when you realize you put yourself in the corner. Consistency.
You're mad because you look up and see the O's on top of you. You're
no,
tight. It's all right.
We suck right now.
It's all right, bro. It's all right. And you got how many All-Stars on that team?
We suck right now. We
get back to sports.
We have what?
All right, let's go back to sports.
I think we only had
I'll
two
save
All-Stars.
I'll save it for Pride for
Endeavors?
later tonight.
Nah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Go ahead.
Again?
Let's move on.
Let's move on. I
don't lie, bro. I don't lie.
You just did. First place don't mean nothing, because of the pressure or whatnot. Then all of a sudden, you get pressed with it. You back off.
That's what you do. You push it in people's mouth. That's what.
Sometimes you just want to talk sports. I don't know what the craziness is.
Don't ever take us out again. Don't you ever take us out again.
No, I don't want to hear that coming from you because you're the one every time someone disagrees with you, you get butthurt and take people out. So I don't want to hear that.
Oh, hell yeah, that's what I do. I take you out again. Shut up.
Can y'all sell this in a private chat and let's talk some sports? Like,
Take everybody out.
You gave up 3 pitching prospects for Benintendi, and I get it. He does help your team in the outfield, but you gave up a lot of pitching, man, which is one of the things y'all kind of struggle with injuries. I mean, do you think that giving up those 3 pitching prospects down the road is going to come back and hurt you?
No, not really. I feel like, we're probably by the trade deadline, the Yankees are probably going to get like another pitcher, probably 2. Starting pitcher and hopefully reliever. But it really, in all aspects, Jay, when you get a trade, we can get a trade again for future minor leaguers against another team. It really don't matter. I mean, It doesn't bother me much for minor league pitchers. You can always get them back in the future. Just going on another trade.
I mean, that's. I get your point. Sometimes I feel like we give away too much of our farm for the right here, right now. When I think sometimes maybe that could have been the pitcher, that you gave away that could have been the one.
And I looked up their stats too in AAA and single A's or whatever. I looked up their stats and they're really not that good. You got one person that's 1-1 with a ERA of like 5.4. Somebody was, I think, 2-3 with an ERA of 4.19. So like they're not really that good. So maybe moving them over to Kansas City will change their aspect for the future, and then we'll see that they change. Maybe we'll trade something back to get them back in the future. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, and again, I mean, I think you still need. Unless, I mean, you probably don't really need a catch. I think Trevino's going to be fine, but you definitely need another pitcher, some sort of pitcher to complement. I think because you lost what? You lost King, Severino. You say he's should be back. What, within another week or so?
Yeah, Severino should be back within like another week, towards the end of the next week.
Yeah.
Damian, we do fight when
right now though. You're starting to pick. How do you? I mean, do you feel like you've got? I mean, I know Germain just came, or German, he just came back, so.
His name is Domingo Germán.
Is that how you say his last name, Germán?
Yeah.
Listen, man, I take a Spanish class. I see a G, I think Ga. I don't think Okay, I give you, okay, whatever.
Damian, we do fight. Me and
so
Pride.
You feel like he's going to be, I mean, obviously he'll probably round back into form. He just came back, but you feel pretty good, though, with your pitcher staff?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole. He's been looking, good. He had a rough start to the season, but now he's looking good. He's 9-3 on the year, so he's good. Nestor Cortez is nasty. I like what Nestor Cortez is bringing. Jordan Montgomery, he's like a here and there, make or miss type of guy. There's days where Jordan Montgomery's having good games, and there's days where he's not looking good. Jameson Taillon, the same. You could say the same with him. He started off this year fantastic, and now he's progressed to looking like a regular, pitcher, just like Jordan Montgomery. You could be a make or miss with him. Luis Severino is Luis Severino. Hopefully he looks good this season, but then now the injury caught up to him. I hope this rest helped out a little bit, and he comes back looking like he did in the beginning of the year. Domingo Germán, man, we both seen him, Jay, with the Houston Astros in the doubleheader after the All-Star break, and he didn't look good at all. He only pitched 3 innings. Last night he pitched actually fantastic, and I think he went 6 innings last night. He pitched great. I mean, he did give up 2 runs, but it was really good. I mean, he gave up a home run to Pete Alonso, but realistically, Pete Alonso can hit a home run against anyone. You just don't give him the good pitch. And then he gave up a double and actually 2 back-to-back doubles. So it was a mistake, but then he bounced back and he pitched real great the rest of the game until he got out. So I feel good about the starting lineup. Hopefully we can get Costello from the Reds. I saw that we might get him. So if we get him, that'll be perfect add-on to that. So I feel real comfortable about this starting lineup. It's more the relievers and closers to me. Ron Marinaccio, he's back on the relieving side, so that's a big plus for us. Like I said, Zach Britton should be coming back by September, so that's another plus for us. But it's mainly the closers. Aroldis Chapman, he's no longer our closer. He's now a person that comes in 6th innings, 7th innings. No longer 8th or 9th innings. Then you got Clay Holmes, who was breaking Mariano Rivera's records, but now he's looking like a regular closer where he's giving you balls, he's giving you strikes, and then he's giving up hits where you don't see that very much from him. So I don't really know. I hope that we can get a reliever or a closer, but I'm really good on our starting pitchers.
Yeah. Now here's the deal. I don't put a whole lot of faith or whatever you want to call them, the power rankings, but they did come out. Looks like today at ESPN, and they got the Dodgers now at number 1, Yankees are at 2, and Astros are at 3, respectively. I gotta agree, man. I think at this point, I think the Dodgers kind of are the number 1, man. Until the Yankees can really, or even the Astros can really get more on that consistent basis. These Dodgers, man, I'm telling you, man, they look pretty damn formidable. Frankie, I mean, on your unbiased viewpoint, or put your unbiased hat on, because I know we all love our teams, but how do you see it, man? And Pride as well, man. How do you see the power rankings right now? Are the Dodgers, are they right to have them at 1, the Yankees at 2, and the Stros at 3?
I'll be real with you, Jay, and I'm gonna be a full-on MLB fan. I'm gonna step aside from Frankie the Yankee for a minute, and I'm gonna have to be real. I think the Astros will be at number 1, just because of their pitching. They're the best pitching in baseball right now, a best ERA. Dodgers are number 2, just because the Dodgers are really good. They got literally every best pitcher. They got every best batter. So the Dodgers are insane. I don't understand how the Dodgers are literally like not 80 games in the winning columns or 70 games in the winning columns already.
I agree. I totally agree with you.
Like they should be up there, but I mean I got them at number 2, and just because of how we progressed down from the start of the season, I'm gonna have to put us at number 3.
I kind of got you guys at number 3, not because the only reason I kind of have you right now at number 3 is primarily injuries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We died down
on your pitching staff, and I think you've taken hit obviously with Stanton. I just think you guys are taking the injuries you got right now is Chad Green and so forth that really kind of has put you down in that 3 spot. And I think if you guys can get healthy, and I got to tell you, Aaron Boone, man, hey, maybe you got to rest these guys a little bit more to get them, make sure they're ready. But I just think with the injuries, that's why I got them at 3. Not that they can't move back up to 1, once they get healthy and things of that nature. But I really think the series against the Mets, when you play them again, the Tampa Bay series, probably that Milwaukee series, how well y'all perform in those types of series, we'll see if you bump up back up to that.
Well, I'm really excited for the September series against Toronto, because Toronto turned their season around. They're looking pretty good right now on a good winning streak. I'm really excited to face this Toronto team again. They didn't look good when we faced them in the beginning.
Seattle Mariners twice. I really need you to kick the crap out of the Mariners.
Oh man, I got you. We got you. I'll make a call to Aaron Boone.
And it's just because I don't want Mickey Delaney in my DMs, man. This dude in my DMs, I swear to God, this dude just trolls.
He is a troll, Jay.
Holy crap, man. I'm telling you, man.
Pride. Pride.
No, dude, who won or who lost. I get it in the DMs all the time. It's crazy.
Pride, you there? Pride
took a sabbatical. He said, if y'all are going to let me talk, I'm going to be quiet. Just going to be quiet over here in my corner.
Oh, Pride, just know I love you still, bro. You're my oos.
He said, you know what? One of these days, we're going to have a conversation. I feel like, Frankie, can we step aside from sports for one moment and just have a
You're my oos. You're my oos too, Jay. Don't feel.
Before you met Pride, before I brought you over to ASAP with Unscripted and so forth, and when it was just me, you, Logan, and whatever, we were like best of buddies, man. We were close. I mean, I really thought I could be Puerto Rican or you could be Caucasian. I mean, we were that blended. And now I brought you over here, and now I felt like I just got cast by the wayside, and you just put Pride up in my spot.
No, I would never do that. I would never do that.
No, man, I love you, and I feel jealous. Maybe even
Jay,
sometimes
we have a connection no one else can have, Jay.
I hope so, man. Because I was telling Mel the other day. I said, you know what? I don't think Frankie C loves me.
Jay, Pride is my oos, but you're my boy, Blue.
Okay, man. Sometimes I just need some reassurance, man. Look, I get insecure. I'm not gonna lie. I get insecure, man. And sometimes you gotta reassure me of that.
You already know. You're my boy, man.
He said like Sami Zayn all his feelings.
Yo, leave Pride alone. Leave Pride alone.
Yeah,
He's not here to defend himself.
Hey, no, but and again, so I just think, man, it's going to be interesting to see how the second half of this season plays out, man. Honestly, and I think the biggest thing for all of us is just injuries, man. I think if we can get back to being healthy, we're going to have to be healthy. at a full set. I really kind of want them to not pitch Verlander so far into those hundreds because even though it's all Tommy John is looking good, I still worry about it because of age and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Yankees are doing the same thing with Garrett Cole. The last two games he's pitched over 100 to 110 pitches. Why is Aaron Boone doing that? I don't understand. It's really confusing to me, and it costs your team realistically. I mean, Garrett Cole, one of those games, he pitched a great game. We were up 3-0. He's up over 100 pitches, Jay, no lie, and he gives up 2 scores. And then Aaron Boone finally decides to pull him. You should have pulled him before he got to 100 pitches and his arm started to get weak. I mean, if you would have did that, we would have probably kept that 3-0 lead with our relievers. I mean, you need to think better than that. I mean, I understand Garrett Cole's telling you, no, I feel great. But you got to also think you need him for October. October is when you should have him throw 100 pitches. That's when you need him to throw those pitches. Not when the regular season count and you're up freaking like 13 games in the division. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, and so, again, I think tonight's going to be a really interesting night of baseball. Again, you guys got KC.
Which I can't wait. I really hope Andrew Benintendi's on the lineup tonight because that'll be perfect. To get him last night.
They already said he's going to be in the lineup.
Perfect, because we get him last night and he plays against his old team tonight. That's the series. That's amazing.
I literally just read that he's gonna be in the lineup.
Good. I can't wait to see it. Hopefully he bats maybe 5th or 7th, maybe 5th to 7th, and I hope that this moves or put Joey Gallo on the hot seat of getting traded, if not probably getting dropped down to AAA.
Yeah, so I wonder how that's going to play out for Carpenter, though. Carpenter's an outfielder, correct?
Carpenter is really a third baseman, but he's been playing outfield. He hasn't played outfield since 2014, Jay.
And I think that's because of his age, because I know he's 36. Is that really why they're putting him out there?
I don't know why they're putting him out there, honestly. I mean, I think they feel comfortable putting him out there just because, we have Stanton out. Stanton is normally out there. Joey Gallo's normally out there, but with the way Joey Gallo's been playing, we are not putting him in and we're not letting him hit. So I see why we're putting Matt Carpenter out there. I mean, you can also put Merwin Gonzalez out there and switch over Aaron Hicks, but I mean, Merwin Gonzalez is also not in the lineup as well. They're our bench players. So, I mean, it's smart to have him in there. You have a perfect infielder, with Josh Donaldson at third, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at short, Gleyber Torres at second, with either Anthony Rizzo or DJ LeMahieu at first. It really doesn't matter. You're good on the infield.
Right.
But the problem with Matt Carpenter on the outfield is he does not have the power throw like Aaron Judge, Aaron Hicks, or Joey Gallo got. So if a player is hitting a line drive ball to Matt Carpenter, there's honestly, I'm going to say a good percentage, maybe 70 to 75% chance that runner can honestly double if they hit it towards Carpenter. That's how weak his arm is.
No, I definitely agree with you, and I think that's going to be kind of. I almost think, like, do you put him maybe even Carpenter at DH?
I would like that. That would be a smarter move if you put Carpenter at DH. But then, like, who would also – that means you'll have to fill in that gap with either, like I said, Merwin Gonzalez or Joey Gallo, because right now Giancarlo Stanton is out, and normally Giancarlo Stanton is our DH. But with him out, you're going to have to fill that role in with either Merwin Gonzalez or Joey Gallo, which, to be realistic with you, Jay, none of those players are hitting good. So, like, if you put them on the field, you're going to have to put them in the plate. And I wouldn't want to put any of them on the plate at this time if you're not looking good. I mean, Joey Gallo is hitting a .161, Jay. Joey Gallo's hitting a .161. That's the worst in baseball. The worst. Aaron Judge has 37 home runs. Joey Gallo has 36 total hits of the year. Like, that's how bad Joey Gallo is looking. He has 150 strikeouts, Jay.
Here's the thing. I think Gallo. I think you either designated for assignment or you just part ways. See what you can get via trade or whatever. I'm not a big proponent of Gallo. Other than, like you said, he has a good arm. I'm going to go back to Carpenter for a second. You got Giancarlo Stanton, 228, I think was his batting average. Not really all that great. But then you got Carpenter at 307. Why would you? I mean, for me personally, I get the whole thing with Stanton, but I think I'm putting Carpenter in at DH and probably taking Stanton out just because I think Carpenter is performing a little bit better than what Stanton is. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's true. But then again, look at the RBIs. I mean, Stanton's RBIs is high. I mean, I see what you're saying. I honestly do. And Aaron Boone does it smart where there's times where Matt Carpenter is saved on the bench, and you have Giancarlo Stanton who's DHs, and then there's times where you have both of them on the lineup where you have Matt Carpenter batting maybe 6 right after Josh Donaldson, and then you have Giancarlo Stanton DHing who's batting cleanup, and that sometimes work out. But I see what Aaron Boone is doing. Save Matt Carpenter on the bench if you got Giancarlo Stanton there, who any team, it don't matter. You're gonna start Giancarlo Stanton. Because you're going to look at you got
Hicks, Judge, and now Benintendi in the outfield. I'd put Carpenter as a DH. I would. If I was
right now, yeah. Right now, I think that's a smart move because you got Stanton out, and now you added Andrew Benintendi, where now you don't have to put in worry about Joey Gallo, or even worry about Marwin Gonzalez. So I would switch down, just like you said, put Matt Carpenter at DH, make him bat cleanup right after Anthony Rizzo, and then put Andrew Benintendi to bat maybe 6, because with the way our pitching or our batting lineup goes, it goes DJ LeMahieu 1, Aaron Judge 2, Anthony Rizzo. Then you got your cleanup, who's your DH. Followed by that, you have like Gleyber Torres, Josh Donaldson. Then that's where you have those weak hitters. So now we got Andrew Benintendi, who can actually probably fill in maybe that Josh Donaldson role, hit after Gleyber Torres, and move Josh Donaldson back. So it'll work out. I can see.
He had 10 hit at 5 behind your cleanup guy, so it forces them to pitch to the cleanup guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna work out really good.
I mean, you guys, like I said, man, your team is fine. I think the only concern now with your team really is just your pitching, and I don't know how big of a concern it is, but that really is kind of just where your concern would be. I think would be your pitching, and I think Boone has to kind of give these guys a little bit more rest on how he uses them. He certainly, and I think maybe if you brought in another starting pitcher like you said, Luis Castillo, bring him in. I think it gives a little bit more days rest for the older guys like a Severino or what have you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, but then again, like I said, Jay, I'm not worried about our starting pitchers. These are our relievers and our closers that I'm more worried about, that sometimes gives up the hits and gives up the runs. Adding the Andrew Benintendi, it was our offense, honestly, that's been doing the hiccup as of late for these bad games, because we're getting runners on base. But then when we get those runners on base, for some reason we can't score them in. So that's not okay. When you have runners on base and you're like 2 for 14 with runner on base, that's not going to win you games. So adding Andrew Benintendi is going to get us hits and get us the scoring we need, and hopefully getting these more men on base to get to home plate. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see tonight. We'll see how this new lineup looks with Andrew Benintendi tonight. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to watch.
Well, I'll tell you, all eyes are on you and the Dodgers at this point because they want to see who's going to take over that legitimate 1 spot. And so you got Kansas City. I think do you know who the Dodgers got tonight? I know I had it up earlier and I don't know what I did with it. But I need to find out who they're playing because I know that's going to be the big one tonight. So because I really firmly believe you're going to take Kansas City, but I want to see who with the Dodgers. God, tonight's going to be good, man. Both you guys got to win if y'all want to keep the standings the way they are. Yeah, so the Dodgers got the Rockies. Oh, for the love of Christ! And it's in Colorado, but yeah, man, Dodgers. Barring anything crazy, they should take that from the Rockies.
I mean, don't sleep on the Colorado Rockies now.
And that's what I'm telling myself too.
Because the The Dodgers did lose, I think, 2 games. They did lose this series to Washington. They lost 2 out of 3. So they got the win to take the lead on the winners percentage and stuff like that, but they really lost this series to the Washington Nationals. So anything can happen with the Colorado Rockies.
No, absolutely. And it's at Coors Field, which is another, that's another hitter-friendly park. So we should see quite a bit of home run action, I think, in that game. It looks like they got Anderson going up against Urena. Urena's got a 3.13 ERA. Anderson's got a 2.79 for the Dodgers. So, man.
Who gives up the more home runs?
Well, it's funny, too, because Urena's only got 31 innings pitched, and Anderson's got 103. So, and Anderson does have the better whip at 1.02 to Urena's 1.42. So, man, I don't know. That's going to be it's going to be the big one.
It's not the way the Dodgers start, Jay, and I've been noticing this too because our boy Jonathan Andrews. It's the way they finish because their relievers.
All the Astros have. A lot of times, if you look at that, a lot of times, especially against some like the Angels and the A's explicitly, we were pretty much we dominated them, and then for whatever reason, the Astros just couldn't finish it. Same thing even when we played you guys in that series where we split that series. In those 2 games, you guys got both those games. One was in a walk-off in the 9th, and the other one was a walk-off in extra innings. It's like, damn, come on, man, finish it.
Yeah. It's sometimes the way your relievers come in and actually screws the game. So, I mean, I'm hoping the Colorado. Right now, I have to have the Colorado Rockies win, but then again, it don't matter. It don't matter. Baseball is baseball.
Yeah, I just think in baseball, it's gonna these next couple of weeks are gonna be pretty intensive. I think for all 3 of us, man, because we're all trying to battle to get that one spot, right? I ain't gonna lie to you, Frank. I want the one spot, target it all, man, because I do want it. Because hey, at the end of the day, man, whoever has the one spot, is gonna have the home field advantage in the World Series.
Yeah, but the Dodgers had the one spot last year, and they didn't even get to use that advantage.
And that's, again, right? Because you still have to make it through it. So I get that. So because you're right. Because I could be in the 3 spot, you'd be in the 2 spot or 1 spot. Same thing with Dodgers, whatever the case may be. But if you guys don't get there, then my home field advantage. So I get what you're saying. There's way to the 1 spot, but at the same time, you still got to get to the series to actually take advantage of it.
Exactly, and I'm not worried about the NL, Jay. I'm not worried about the NL. I'm worried about the AL. The AL is what matters to me. I'll worry about the NL.
This is in the AL. The NL really don't matter.
Exactly. I mean, you don't have to worry about the NL until the World Series comes.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna call it, man. I think the ALCS is gonna be a lot more competitive than the NLCS.
And it's gonna be a lot, and it's gonna be a lot different. And you know what I liked about last night's game against the Yankees and Mets is we had to play against Max Scherzer, one of the best pitchers right there, one of the best. Man, it was his birthday. It was good to see him out on the mound for the Mets. I mean, I'm not a Mets fan. The guy is having a good season with the Mets, and he was just pitching great. Yeah, he owned Aaron Judge last night. He struck him out 3 times last night. Aaron Judge went 0 for 5 last night. That pissed me off. So that just tells you right there that guy was having a fantastic game. So he had a good. He
said to you earlier, man. I feel like Aaron Judge chases. His plate discipline sometimes isn't always the best.
No, it's not that he chases. He does chase sometimes. He does chase, but it's not only that, Jay. It's not only that though. It's not only that. Max Scherzer, or however you say his name, he saw a pitch yesterday that Aaron Judge could not hit, and it was a changeup. He was hitting Aaron Judge with a changeup every time, and Aaron Judge he was giving it to Aaron Judge at the plate as well. A changeup
Right.
at the plate every time. Aaron Judge could have hit it. It was right on Aaron Judge's view. But Aaron Judge cannot hit a changeup, and he noticed that, and that's how he got Aaron Judge out 3 times.
Well, but you know
So
what? That's the same thing the Astros did. The Astros gave him a lot of changeups as well. I saw that they were more changeup driven than they were fastball driven.
yeah, because there's certain pitches that batters cannot hit, and nobody knows that the changeup is what Aaron Judge's weakness. So if you pitch Aaron Judge a changeup, there's a possibility you have a strong chance of getting him out.
You just got to make sure that changeup don't hang on you. That it actually does do what it's supposed to. Because if it hangs, that's where he'll get you.
Yeah. But what I liked about the Mets yesterday is they were using the electronic devices with Max. When Max was on the plate, they were going old school and doing the signings between the legs.
Right.
And that's what I liked about it, because that goes to tell you that the pitcher is like, he doesn't want the other player. He doesn't want the other. Every player on the team has that magnetic, the electronic thing in their heads, so that you can know what pitch is coming or anything like that. Last night, the Mets didn't know it. That was between the pitcher and catcher only, those signs. So that goes to tell you that Max was like, yo, this is all me tonight. This is my game. I'm gonna take control of this game. I don't want anybody else knowing it. And that's what other pitchers need to do. Like, I understand, the sign stealing scandal changed everything in the baseball league, so now you gotta, use the electronic devices. But let's not forget, you can also go old school and do the signs for the connection between pitchers and catchers. That's how it used to work back in the day. Keep that between the pitcher and catcher only.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, so I'm going to switch gears for a second. Let's talk about this Juan Soto thing. Obviously, I think now that you guys got Benintendi over, you're not going to go after Soto. That would be foolish because your outfield is already full. And I don't think they're going to want to try to take on that contract. Now, I'll just say this. Benintendi is up at the end of the year. He goes into free agency. So, are the Yankees likely to, I would imagine, I guess depending on how the rest of this year goes, they should make that a contract offer to him. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to make a contract to him at the end of the year, just depending on seeing how he plays the rest of the season with us. But before they think of signing anyone to any contract, they need to worry about Aaron Judge and giving that man his money and giving him his contract. I understand what you say on him chasing and stuff, but the man is also our face of the franchise. Like, he hits our home runs, he gets our runs, he gets on base. I mean, he hits the ball really well, and he's a great outfielder. So before you do anything, you guys the Yankees need to worry about what they want to do with Aaron Judge. Are you guys going to give him the max?
That's to let go of Aaron Judge. I mean, definitely, I think you give him the contract. I think for me, it's more like how many years do you give him? He's what, 30? I think you give him maybe a 5-year deal, maybe a 5 or a 6 year, somewhere around there.
I mean, knowing the Yankees, they're definitely going to give him like a 10-year contract, but that contract's probably not going to finish out.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave Garrett Cole a 10-year contract, and they gave Giancarlo Stanton. I think they gave Giancarlo Stanton also a 10-year contract. Like, those are two highest paid players on the roster, and Garrett Cole's the only one that's literally getting that money's worth. Giancarlo Stanton is not. He's been getting injured here and there for these past couple of years.
No, I definitely agree with you. And I think sometimes, when they talk about, it's the same old Yankees, I think it's the same old Yankees because sometimes they put so much money into these guys. And I'm not trying to knock on Stanton, but I don't think Stanton's actually producing for the money they're giving him. And I think sometimes that kind of comes back to hurt the Yankees a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes
it does.
Sometimes having too much money isn't always a good thing.
No, it's not. It's a fantastic thing because you can get people like Andrew Benintendi. Andrew or Damien.
Just because your team is poor as hell.
Damien says, what's more of a rival, Mets and Yankees or Jets and Giants? I'm going to have to say Mets and Yankees just because I'm not a Jets or Giants guy. I hate both of them.
No damn rivalry between the Jets and the Giants. Get the hell out of here. What the hell's that bullshit? God.
But I'm gonna have to say Mets and Yankees. That's a heated rival that's been starting since mid '90s, when they started going up against each other head to head.
And that East runner for BS.
the last two games literally was a sold out stadium in Queens. So just imagine what it's going to look like the next series when Jay said it was at New York. It was going to be at Queens and the Mets. I think the next series is going to be in Bronx, Yankee Stadium, just because we just had a 2-game series in Queens.
Yeah,
We were just at Citi Field.
That's interesting. So speaking of, I just want to go back to the Juan Soto thing real quick. Where does he wind up now? I mean, are the Padres still in the mix? Are the Cardinals in the mix? You know, where do we think Juan? I've heard a lot of things leaning more towards St. Louis. That might be where he ends up. What do you think?
I say San Diego Padres or St. Louis Cardinals, but don't be surprised if the Mets make a splash or if the Dodgers make a splash, because the Dodgers literally can get anyone. Juan Soto wants to go to a team that's ready to win now. Not ready for a team. He doesn't want to go to a team that's ready to win next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. He wants to win now, and I understand why. You know, he's in his prime. He wants to be a champion already. He's already a champion with Washington, but he wants to win another one now. So I mean, you could put him at San Diego. I mean, that team is ready. They're built to win now. It's just a division that they're in. You know, you got to deal with the Giants and the Dodgers. It feels bad for San Diego, but you know they're ready to win. You could put them. You know, like I said, you could put them with the St. Louis Cardinals. That'll be a smart move. The St. Louis Cardinals got a pretty good roster, and they got a pretty good pitching rotation as well. But like I said, don't be surprised if the Mets or Dodgers make a splash.
Yeah, Mike's saying Toronto Blue Jays could also make a splash as well. And that's true. I mean, I can see Toronto doing that, team them up there with Springer and so forth. At the same time, you know, I just think St. Louis might be the best spot for him. I think the Dodgers could take him on, but man, yeah, man, Jesus Christ, the Dodgers take him on. I would say with the money, but I think the Dodgers probably, because he's going to want around $400 million. I mean, can the St. Louis Cardinals afford to give him that $400 million, $500 million contract? And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think $500 million for St. Louis might be a little bit too expensive. But I think, like you said, New York, Yankees, LA Dodgers, you know, those guys got unlimited wallets. So I can see them giving him that big time cash. What do you think, Frankie? Did they do it?
I don't think St. Louis. I think what St. Louis is going to do is they're going to probably give him like a cheap deal, and be like, listen, if you can prove your worth, we'll talk about a major contract extension in the next year. So I think, you know, to be realistic, Juan Soto doesn't want the big money right now. He really don't. He wants to win championships right now, because if he really wanted the money, he would have signed. If he really wanted the money, he would have signed that big money contract with the Washington Nationals, but he didn't. And the reason why is because he wants to win championship.
And you think Scott Boras is going to let Soto take that less money?
Hey, I don't know. Maybe.
You know, I think Scott Boras is going to be in his ear. You know, he don't like to just talk about any negotiations until they pick up from free agents. So I don't know, man. I think Boras is going to be in his ear telling him, hey, you still need to be getting this money.
The trade deadline is going to be great. I can't wait for it. I mean, the Yankees already made the first splash by getting Andrew Benintendi in the lineup, and that just goes to show that anything's going to happen, man. And we got a couple of days left. I think next Tuesday's the trade deadline ends, so things are going to get crazy. I can't wait to see who the Astros don't pick up.
Yeah, I you know, again, I don't really think the Astros are going to make any moves. I think they're going to stay pat with where they are. And again, the only real move I think they need to make is that catcher. I mean, the pitching's fine. Everywhere else I'm good with. I just think that they definitely need to get an upgrade at the catcher position. Not that Maldonado, I mean, you know, he calls a great game. He's probably one of the best game managers at that catcher position. It's just his bat. His bat is horrible. And so, you know, of course we do have Lee, but Lee still, he just came up, so his game management might not be on par with where his hitting is. So we need that one guy, you know, and I think Wilson Contreras could come over. I don't know what we give up for him, but, you know, I think we definitely need to give something up and bring in a Contreras that has a bat, that has, you know, game management. And I think that's really our one spot. No, I think the Astros really need to upgrade. I think we're good everywhere else.
Yeah, I really, we're gonna wait to see. I hope the Yankees make more of a move. Anything can happen though. I can't wait for baseball tonight. I'm like I said, I'm excited to see us go up against Kansas City. I can't wait to see what Andrew Benintendi is going to bring to the lineup, and I can't wait to see what we do. I hope this is the turnaround that we need.
Yeah, man. Hey, like I said, hey, it's going. You know we're gonna be all up in this, so it's gonna be good tonight. Switch it over to football and things like that, man. Again, we were talking about this earlier. I think we were talking about this last night with Tampa Bay and things like that. What's a realistic expectation for Tampa? They got Julio Jones now, and then they teamed up with Godwin, who's coming off that injury, and of course you got Mike Evans. And then you got Randolph in his latter years at 34, coming from, I think it was Minnesota. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. It looks like they took some subtractions on the defensive side of the ball, lost some guys. What's the realistic expectation? Because I don't think they got better. I don't think they're really, really worse off. I think they're kind of still status quo in the middle of where they were last year. So, Brady came back to try to, get that one elusive ring before he fully calls it a day. Can he do it with the squad he has, or is St. Louis still the powerhouse to come out of the NFC?
Oh, St. Louis is always going to be the powerhouse to come out of the AFC when you're the defending Super Bowl champions. But like I always say, man, I never put my money up against Tom Brady. It don't matter how that offense can look. He can literally make an unrestricted free agent look like a superstar within 1 week. So anything can happen. It's the defense that worries me for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They lost a lot of key defensive players on that side of the ball, and it also comes to the coaching as well. They don't have Bruce Arians at the helm anymore, telling them what to do. They have Todd Bowles now, so that tells me he's going to focus more on defense because that's what Todd Bowles does. He's a defensive minded coach. So maybe Todd Bowles switch up that defense, fix it up a little bit, see what pieces he needs to fill in, and let Tom Brady run the offense. Because listen, when you have Tom Brady on your team, you don't have to worry about the offense. I mean, you do have to worry about them, but you don't. You have Tom Brady at the helm to take over. He sees on the field. If the defense isn't in the spots where he knows, he's gonna eat that defense up. So let the offensive coordinator and Tom Brady worry about the offense. Todd Bowles, your first year as Tampa Bay head coach, man, defensive minded guy. You got some pieces that is missing. You worry about the defense.
Hey, and also too, as you saw, Tampa Bay Buccaneers starting center Ryan Jensen was carted off with a knee injury, and that's a big part of that offensive line. So it's a left knee injury. They don't know. They won't know for a few days until after the swelling goes down and testing can be started up on him. But that could be a huge blow to those guys if they lose him.
It could, but it's a good thing that it happened now, because now Tom Brady can work with that backup center the way Tom Brady wants to.
And it's good that it happened now, so they can start developing the chemistry they need. But still, man, you can develop a little bit of chemistry in training camp, but man, that to me, if he's out and not able to come back this season, I still think that's a pretty good sized blow to that team.
It's gonna be amazing to see. Pry, you back?
No, he's not back yet. I just texted him. Hey, and another thing too, I want to kind of switch over real quick and we can talk about basketball. What do you think the effects are now? All the stuff with KD and the Celtics and stuff, we know that's not going to come to fruition. But what I wonder is the after effects of it. After effects being, how is Jaylen Brown, how is he feeling? Because, you got to admit, he said it's not going to let it affect his play. He said, but at the same time, it doesn't make him feel good. He's not going to forget about it. So this isn't the first time Jaylen Brown has been in trade rumors quite often for Paul George and AD and a few other guys that they've tried to get in, and so his name's been thrown around quite often. Again, he says he's not going to let this affect his play, but if you're a star player or if you're number two guy, isn't feeling so good about the organization, you got to imagine that still has lingering effects. And I wonder if when it comes time for him to re-sign or get a new contract, if that will be weighing on the back of his mind.
It's gotta be. Honestly, I think it's gotta be. I mean, he's not gonna, get another one anywhere, right?
Right. I just think if you want the most out of your player, now he says it's not going to affect his play, but sometimes, your mentalness or your mental.
I was reading a tweet. I apologize. I was reading a tweet.
We have some breaking news.
We have breaking news. I read a tweet that veteran defensive end Carlos Dunlap has signed a 1-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Interesting. Well, the Chiefs need to add a little bit of depth to that defense anyway, so that's not a bad pickup for those guys. And they should be able to get him at a reasonable deal as well. Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, man, what a time it is to be alive in the world of sports, man. Damn.
Football is back. Football is back.
Basketball, we just finished up the summer league, so we got to see a little bit of, what we could expect out of these young guys. We saw a glimpse of what Wiseman could possibly be bringing to the Warriors. We saw what, Paolo Banchero is going to bring to Orlando. Saw what, Jaden Ivey looks like or could look like when you team them up there with Duran and Cunningham up there in Detroit, which could be a nice little core of those three guys when they develop. Rockets, with Jabari Smith looks pretty good. So, man, I'm telling you, man, this summer league really kind of give us a little insight on the future of the NBA and these guys coming in. So, I see a lot of really good stuff. I still kind of want to see that dude, Chet Holmgren or whatever, put on some weight. I think that dude is too skinny, I think, still to play. But
all I know is Foxborough Frankie C is ready to come back.
Man, hey, football's around the corner, baby. Hey, we're going to see what Josh McDaniels does in his second go-around as a head coach. We're going to see what the 49ers are going to look like. Leaning on Trey Lance, it's going to be awesome.
I can't wait to see what Mac Jones' second year is going to look like.
You know what, though? And that's another thing, too, is I really kind of, Mac Jones as well, no doubt about that. His second year, he says he's come back to better in training camp, things of that nature. I expect to see good things out of Mac. But what I think what intrigues me the most is I want to see what Justin Fields looks like. He just got rid of Nagy, which honestly was not good for his development. And then you're bringing in a guy like, what's that dude's name? It was he was offensive coordinator from Green Bay that they just brought over as well. So now they're going to put that Green Bay offensive coordinator, which works with Aaron Rodgers. You know what he did for Aaron Rodgers and the awards that he got for him. When you put that same offensive coordinator now around Justin Fields, you know what I'm saying? I think Justin Fields' second year, I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think that guy's really going to work with him and get a few things right. By the way, we're talking about that on Unscripted tonight, and I'm going to break it down even more. But definitely, man. Hey, I think Justin Fields, I think with this new regime that they're putting with Eberflus and the offensive coordinator from Green Bay now working with Fields, I'm telling you, man, I think Fields is this is gonna be the best opportunity for him.
Well, if you're gonna go that route, then the one person I'm excited to see, and you're probably gonna hate me, is Daniel Jones, and see what he's gonna do with the New York Giants, because now he has a new head coach in I forgot his name, but the guy from the Buffalo Bills. So I mean, you got him coming in, and he's a very successful coach, winning Super Bowls with the Patriots and winning national championships with Alabama, and then also revamping that Buffalo Bills the entire roster of the offense. So I mean, he can have success there with Daniel Jones, but they do have some pieces. Let's not forget they got Kenny Golladay over there in New York, so hopefully he can stay healthy for Daniel Jones. So and you got Saquon Barkley, who's looking big. I mean, he's looking really big this year in off season.
Again, I think that, like I said, injuries are going to be the biggest thing for Saquon and Golladay. I think for me, the biggest thing that I took away from Dable is it really, and I'm not knocking you, Frankie, on this. I'm just saying, for me, the biggest thing I see with New York isn't Saquon, isn't Gabe. It's what Dable can do with Daniel, as what he did with Josh Allen. And if he,
Yeah.
and I really think that's your true building block. Your true building block now is going to be Daniel Jones and what he can do with him. And if he can, and Daniel Jones is good. I think he can do great things with Daniel Jones. I really do. And if he does do that, look, Saquon, he can be replaced either through free agency or drafts. Same things with Galladay. Those two guys, you know, hey, if they pan out, great. But I don't have as much confidence in either one of those two as much as I do. I think the thing with the New York is Daniel Jones, get him straight, and then let's worry about putting the complementary pieces around him. And I think that's the direction I think the Giants are probably going to look at and see what they got with those two, but mainly make Daniel Jones that primary focus.
I can't wait. Just a couple more weeks until preseason begins, and then about another month and a half before the first game of the NFL, baby. We're almost there, Jay. We are almost there.
Man, yes.
What a time to be! What a time to be alive, and what a time to be a man. Football season is back.
Let's wrap this puppy up, Frankie.
Alrighty, guys. Pride, you back or no?
Pride back. Hey, don't forget, we got the afternoon show with me, Gonzo, and I think Deontay, or I think Deontay might be on. So we got that coming up right after this show ends. So stay tuned for that.
Yes. Stay tuned for ASAP afternoon show. Also tune in later tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Too Unscripted will also be on ASAP Network as well. Jay McLovin is going to be there. I don't know who else is going to be there. I'm going to try and be there, but I do know that I'm going to, probably be at work because I did pick up some extra shifts. So probably like when I get like a 15-minute break, I'll hop in or so and get my thoughts on a topic that they're on. But it's going to be a fantastic show. Jay, who's going to be on tonight? Do you know?
Right now, it looks like I believe. I believe Jonathan Mathis is going to be on tonight. I believe also that it'll probably be Jonathan Mathis and Gonzo and me on tonight. And if you hop on, real quick, I just want to we're talking about 6 topics tonight. Big Ben and his comments, and now he's backtracking. We'll be talking about that, as well as what we can expect from Justin Fields year 2, along with Brittany Griner and the latest update on the possible deal for her release. Draymond, we'll talk about him, and as he's seeking that max deal, as well as again Celtics with Brown, and we're gonna wind up with where will Willie Contreras land. So those are the things you can expect from Unscripted at 7 p.m. Eastern time, my brothers and sisters.
So tune in. It's going to be a fantastic show. Thank you guys for tuning in to ASAP in the morning. Stay tuned for ASAP's afternoon show. It's going to be fantastic, hosted by Chris Gons and Jay McLovin. And also Dante is going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see what they're talking about. I might hop on there for a little bit if I have time. If I got time, I gotta go make some lunch for the kids and stuff. So if I had time, I'd probably hop on there and get my thoughts in there too. And also don't forget, we might do a show again tonight, like the boys did last night. ASAP After Dark. I like to think about it as when we go in and we just trash talk everyone. It's amazing. But we might do it again tonight because I'm definitely gonna hop on that if they do it tonight. No doubt about it. Because I'm not going to be working all night, Jay. I'm just picking up some extra hours. So if you better
pick up as many damn extra hours as you can get.
So if they go on at a good time, I'm getting out and I'm hopping on that show, and I'm gonna be going insane. But don't forget to tune into that tonight. But it's your boy Frankie C, Frankie the Yankee, and my boy Jay Astro McLovin, saying get ready and get hyped for your baseball day. First game should start in about a half hour. I don't know who player, and I don't care because they're not the Yankees. So enjoy your baseball and enjoy your day. We'll catch you guys tomorrow back here at ASAP in the morning, 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern time. Look, I'm tired. I slept 4 hours, Jay. 10 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you to Pride for showing up, even though he was an ass. I still love him. He's still my ooze. He just loves to piss me off. And it's really rare that somebody pisses me off. I just get pissed when somebody doesn't let you talk and they overtalk you. Like, shut your mouth, damn it. But I love you, Pride. You my ooze. We still the champs, bro. Jimmy and Jay fight all the time. Just like Jay and Frankie. We fight all the time. We still love each other.
Yes, we do.
Catch you guys tomorrow morning. Jay will catch you guys in about a half hour.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.